What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Woo.
Or happy Thursday whenever you're listening to this, because this episode will be out a bit later on Wednesday.
Delayed.
So maybe you pushed it to Thursday. Maybe you pushed it to a Thursday morning on the way to work. Listen, and if that's the case, then I hope you're having an amazing Thursday as well. And this episode of Chicks in the Office is presented by Macy's. Just like the athletes dedicate years to perfecting their game, Ralph Lauren has been creating timeless styles for over 57 years. Serving as the official outfitter for our national team, you could snag the same gear as your favorite athletes at Macy's and truly embody the spirit of a champion.
Really looking forward to the games, seeing our athletes out there. I love watching this time of year as well. It's something to jump into. So many good sports happening.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
And they're dressed well.
I can't wait. And you can feel like a champion and cheer on your favorite teams this year during the summer games in Paris with top brands like Puma, Reebok, Under Armour, Adidas, Nike. You could shop it all. You can get into the spirit, cheer on your teams, and get into it. Shop at Macy's.com or in store. How are we feeling, everybody? We are back in studio, and man, does it feel good to be home.
It does feel good to be home. I don't know what it was. I will say 1 week away, because I guess just because we were so far away.
Yeah.
It felt like we were gone for so long. I was walking around New York City yesterday, like, big city, like, ooh, noise, like, being like I was walking around New York City for the first time in my life. Like, it was weird. Like, even just walking into my apartment, I was like, oh my God, everything's right where I left it. But it feels like I haven't been here in so long. And I mean, it quite literally was only a week.
Monday to Monday is...
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was quite literally only a week.
No, but it's kind of a long, like, that's not a short amount of time to be across the world.
No.
But we were like just gone for a week, July 4th, and this feels way longer to me.
Yeah.
Well, we were like on the go every day when we were away. But yes, happy to be back in studio.
Yeah, we relived Monday twice, basically.
Yeah, we did. So very confusing on what day it is right now. But I love being back in the studio. Like, oh my gosh, feels like home.
It does.
You missed me?
Oh my God,
We haven't seen each other for a day.
We have so much time.
The thing is, I have
Noah.
so much fucking time. I said to Noah at dinner the other night in Fiji, I was like, it will be a miracle if I don't kill you and you don't kill me. Equal parties. Like, if we don't fucking kill each other by the end of this weekend.
God, you all have your own rooms.
Oh,
thank God. I mean,
not that we would be sharing.
No, but like, you know what I mean. It's not like everybody needs to be like on air mattresses in
the living room. Because last year when we did a house at the Jersey Shore, so Noah and I are going to the Jersey Shore this weekend with some friends. We rented a house. It's my birthday on Friday, so we got a house. Fran has her best friend's wedding this weekend, so unfortunately she couldn't make it, but fortunately her best friend's getting married. So very exciting. Happy for Claire. We'll get into that. But we did a Jersey Shore house last summer, and it was very, very small. There were only 2 bedrooms, and there were 8 people in the house.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And it was, and like when you wake up and walk out of your bedroom, like it was
one
Noah,
bathroom.
it was Noah, Tommy, Dana, Kelly, Kaylee, like all in one place. Like there was one bathroom. This year, everybody has their own bedroom, which is lovely.
Yeah.
But me and Noah have spent every fucking day together besides one day. And I was like, I'm like, you know, I'm very respectful of Noah's peanut allergy. The most respectful, actually. I went to bat for his fucking life last week.
True.
If I have to hear about this fucking peanut allergy again every day this weekend, it's it's his whole personality.
No, it's not. It's
Thank
only
God.
when I go to a restaurant that I have to say it. Sorry that I have to say it.
It's his whole personality.
Well, guess what? We're back.
It's not my fault if I say it and people are like start talking.
We're back in the States where it's much more respected.
And here's the thing, it's much more respected, and thank God all of our friends already know about it, so they won't be asking him 20 questions the entire time about his fucking peanut allergy.
Sorry that...
I respect it, but we've been together every day.
No.
And it's just like...
I wish if Maura was here, she would defend me.
We've just been in constant communication.
No, that's the thing. It's like, not only have we been together every day, the texting has been not... Noah texted me yesterday on the side. He sent me something to go over, and I said, please, can we do it at work tomorrow?
Remember when I texted on the plane?
Oh. No, Noah's texting us on the plane how to maneuver his seat, and I just said, like, figure it out on your own. Please.
No, I cannot
It's
really,
like-
guys, I know you think we give him a hard time. I get it, but I cannot state enough how being on a work trip with him is like taking your child on vacation. It's like
really
taking your
is.
teenager on vacation because you have to hold his hand
Through
for
everything.
This is where we're going. This is the time. How do you get
how do
there?
we do
What do you need
this?
to be? What do I have to get? The whole thing. We had to sign papers to go on a boat ride on our last day on Monday. And literally the woman who gave us the papers and was like, "Oh, you could just put him as your child." Like Rhea and I signed this 2 separate disclaimers and the like the bottom was like, list your children under the age of 18, and she was like, just put him there. And we were like, yeah, we will.
Yeah, no problem. It's just like he just texts everything, like asking how to do literally basic tasks, and it's just like I understand why
how to push the seat down was the last
No, it
straw
was a
for Rhea.
footrest. I was
because
like, how do
we
you get the
also
seat
were
rest?
we also
snapped.
weren't
She
in the
snapped.
same seating area, so we didn't have the same seat. So I was like, we don't have the same fucking seat. Figure it the fuck out. Ask a flight attendant how to do your seat, because I'm not in the same seat as you. Like, that's it. That's it for me. That's it.
We basically came to the conclusion on this trip that Rhea and I are mom and dad. Rhea is mom, I am dad.
Right, because this is what happens. And this is multiple, like, instances where
You go to mom first.
Where Noah will come to me with a
Yep.
question. I approve the question. I say yes. But then I'm like,
But ask your father.
you have to ask Fran too. Like, I'm not the end all be all. We're a team. You have to also ask Fran. So
Yeah.
then he's like, and then
I gotta
But you know what I
ask
do?
dad.
Yeah.
I like whenever I ask Fran, I preface it with like, so Rhea said.
yeah, and then it's always like, it's literally like when you go to your dad.
No, it's quite
mom
literally.
said,
Yeah. It's
that-
quite literally
Mom
when
said
you
this
were
was okay.
When you were 12 and you were asking your parents if you could have a sleepover,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to your mom first and she says, "Oh, it's okay, honey, but make sure it's okay with your dad." And then they run up to their dad and they go, "Mom said it's okay if I have a sleepover. Can I have a sleepover?"
Literally every time, every text, because he'll text me on the side and then he'll go into the group chat and be like, "Friend, I already asked Rhea, but," and I'm like, oh my God, you're going to get me in trouble too. No, it's funny though, but we are spending
mom and dad.
a lot of time together, and I'm reaching the point where, like, so my parents picked me up from the airport on, Monday, Tuesday, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
day it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
And I
Late
went to my
Monday
house on
night.
Long Island because Matt is still in freaking Chicago. And this is like the longest it's like almost 2 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see each other on Thursday. And the last time we saw each other was like Sunday, like 2 weeks. I don't even know
Yeah.
how long it's been. Like,
It's
so
a solid 10 days.
yeah. So it's like,
plus.
it's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long
like,
time.
I freaking miss him so much.
and
like,
it feels
I'm
like we've
like,
been gone for a really long time.
like,
so.
like across the world. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be reunited.
It was hard to communicate while we were there.
It was
also.
very hard to communicate
Yeah.
because we kept losing service,
Yep.
and also the time change was a bit of a struggle as well. So I really can't wait until Thursday. And on top of that, my cousin Francesca, OG Fran, is coming from Florida. It's so funny because my parents and I were just talking about this because, like, she's like my very distant cousin. Like,
Yeah.
she's like my 4th or 5th cousin at this point, but
Which
she's
I didn't
like
know
my
for
best friend.
so long. It's so
Wait,
funny.
she
You
is?
she just
Yeah.
calls everybody cousin because I mean technically they are.
She is
cousins.
technically my cousin, but our
But-
grandmas were cousins. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I thought you
it's
guys were
like-
first cousins.
No.
It took me, but it was
It
years
took-
before she finally revealed to me that Francesca was not her first. I was like, "What's the relation again?" She was like, "Oh, it's like pretty."
okay,
far."
so our grandmas were cousins and they lived next door to each other in Florida. So whenever I went to Florida, I would spend like weeks at a time there in the summer.
Yeah.
And Francesca and I we're literally best friends. So like, but she's also my so
Yeah.
it's hard to say like.
I mean, I don't
She
even
is
know what
technically
that
my
makes
cousin.
you.
Listen,
We're
your,
like
your
four-
grandmas
it's
were
like four-
Our grandmas
sisters?
were
It's like fourth cousins.
no, our
or
grandmas were
something.
not sisters. Our grandmas were
No,
cousins.
they were cousins,
Oh,
which separates it even more.
Yeah,
so
so,
it wasn't
like,
even like the grandparents were
we're like
siblings, and
we're
it trickles
like, yeah,
down.
we're like just barely cousins, but
like third cousins.
no, we're
I think
like
it's
fourth
more than
cousins.
that.
I think we're like fourth cousins. At this point, I think. I don't know. We still, but like we talk like every day, like we're best friends, and her name is so similar to Fran's name that it's actually weird. Like she's also Francesca M, and like the way that her last name is spelled is fairly close to this Fran's last name, which always makes me laugh. And I think this weekend will be funny because...
But do you call her Fran?
If your grandparents
It
are
changed up,
cousins, you are their
Franny,
cousins
Fran.
twice removed.
If our
But I don't know if
grandmas are
that's like
cousins.
if that's like to to that cousin. That's way too hard for me to figure out.
Long story short, we are not first or second cousins. Like
There's a few removals.
There are quite a few removals, but she's my cousin, you know?
Yeah.
She's my cousin. She's my bestie, and she's coming here. She was here last summer, and then I was like, you have to experience the Jersey Shore. Like, you will never experience the Jersey. She doesn't really leave Florida much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you have to experience the Jersey Shore.
Oh my
Like
goodness, I love it.
after watching the show, like
Yeah.
she's like, we were upset because the bar we're going to Thursday night, DJs, does a theme, and we thought it was going to be Italian night, which we were very...
It's not Italian night.
It's not Italian night. Remember I was saying, no, you
Yeah,
better bring your
all
fucking cannolis.
All week you were talking about Noah getting a tracksuit.
Yeah, it's not. It's Valentine's
And I had
Day.
a tracksuit.
What?
And Italian night is
What if we
next
just showed up
Thursday.
as Italian? Like, we're like, whatever, it's Italian night for us.
Yeah, we're fucking Italian, so it's Italian
Honestly,
night for
everybody
us.
at DJ's on a Thursday night is probably dressed like
Yeah, it is Italian
anyway.
night. Every
It's
night
Italian
at
every
DJ's
night.
is Italian night. But we were disappointed about that because my cousin is thinking like Jersey Shore, like the
Yeah,
TV show.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
like, oh, so
yeah.
we're showing up in tracksuits. And I was
Yeah.
like, absolutely.
Yep.
With cannolis in our hand.
Yep.
And that is no longer the case. So we'll see. But yes, you would think that like when I came home, my parents would be like, oh, let's make you like a home cooked meal and like whatever. I made dinner for my family, which
But you know, I will say in their defense, you probably were like, I'm cooking.
my mom offered to make something that I just wasn't in the mood for.
Exactly.
And then she didn't offer anything else after that. And I was like, okay, how about I make dinner?
Yeah.
Home cooked meal was lovely and delightful. And then I couldn't sleep until 3 a.m. again last night. And I was just crushing Nerds gummy clusters. Like, I just was like,
I feel you.
ugh.
I like had to really force myself. Honestly, it actually helped because my Wi-Fi went out. And I was like, you know what? This is a sign. Like it was 12:30 and I was on the couch and Joe and I were watching Presumed Innocent, which whoa, fantastic.
I can't
I mean,
wait
I've
to
only
watch
watched 2
that.
episodes. It's so good. It's just one of those shows where the first, you know, like you can't even wait. You can't press play fast enough on the next episode. You know, it's one of those. And the first episode ended. We were like, it was late. We had gone to dinner because it was Joe's mom's birthday. And we were like, oh, let's watch one because we have so much other things that we were like, oh, we got to catch up on House of the Dragon, the whole thing. So I was like, but I really want to watch this. We're like, one episode. The first episode ended. We were like, one more. And then halfway through, the Wi-Fi went out.
Dang.
And I was like, you know what? This is probably my sign that it's time to just get into bed. But yeah, it's just you just feel out of it. I had a nail hanging on by a thread on this trip. That truly, like, I wrapped a Band-Aid on it on the way home because I was like, this bad boy is gonna fall off and it's gonna be painful. And I went to get them fixed, get a manicure when we came home. And I was like, oh, you know, I had that kind of like a white chromish vibe going on. I was like, you know what? And I had that for like a month because I didn't go before we left for our trip. I was like, let me change it up. I'm gonna do like a bright red, bright red. And I picked it out, had it sitting there, whatever. She's shaping my nails, doing the whole thing. I go, I'm in Claire's wedding. I can have bright red nails. The hua of the wedding.
The hua?
The hua of the wedding. I was like, oh. I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Actually, bubble bath, please.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
What color is the dress? The bridesmaid dress.
Everyone is in like a light blue.
Yeah, you can't.
an aqua
You
blue.
can't have fucking
No,
red
I could
nails with
not
that.
have bright red nails.
No.
No, it's like a beautiful,
Yeah.
New England coastal vibe.
no.
Like, no, it was
You
not.
can't have red nails.
The chick from New York City coming with red nails.
Who was just in
Ugh.
fucking Fiji thinking who she is with the red
thank
nails.
God, immediately, I was like, ah.
Oh my God, we gave you a fright.
Yeah, seriously, it really did.
What a relief.
It really did. But no, it's good to be home. It's really like hit the ground running as far as wedding things coming up of other Claire's wedding. But then I've got a lot to do for my own. I went to go get my dresses tailored, and I went this morning. That was another reason why we were also a little delayed, because I quite literally had to move the appointment. I had set it for Fiji, and then this was the earliest time, and I was like, I have to go.
You have to.
And thank God I did, because she was like, when's your date again? I told her, and she was like, uh-oh. She was like, she's like, cutting it a little close. And I was like, I know, I am so sorry.
Intended.
I was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago. And, other things had come up that could not be changed, obviously. We'll get it done, no worries. She was like, oh, don't sweat. Well, it'll get done.
No sweat.
But, I could have been a little more ahead of the game.
That's okay. That's okay. Things come up, but now it's happening, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly. So that was nice. But that is, what a wild feeling it is, like, because, you pick out your dresses. You try a ton on, maybe you try on none, maybe right away, maybe you try on hundreds, like whatever it is. And then you spend so much time thinking about it, picturing it, visualizing it, maybe you try it on a couple times. Then you go to a tailor, and you're just putting all your faith into the tailor, And of course you can add references. Like, I asked who some of my friends have gone to and who they trusted and all that jazz. But I walked in, and right away put the dress on. I have two, so when I put the second dress on, scissors right to the dress. And I was like, we'd barely spoken, me and this woman.
My God.
She barely knows my name.
My gosh.
And I told
At least
her,
take you out to dinner.
No, truly. I told her what the look that I was going for. I was like, I want to shorten this, blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, okay. Bam! Scissors right to the dress. I was like, and then she like kind of giggled a little because she saw that I was like, And she was like, oh, don't worry, it's okay.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
God. It's like you think about it so much, and then you go in and they're just like, snip, snip.
They just chop it up, and they're like,
like, well, I hope this turns out okay.
Not our problem anymore. Snipping it right away.
Seriously. I was like, oh my God, it's just snip, snip.
Right, and it feels like too precious. Like, why are you cutting it like that?
Yeah.
Do it when I'm not there.
I know.
Take the measurements and let me leave.
Just a rough cut. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But you must be relieved.
Exciting. Yeah. And I mean, her rough cut was great. I liked the way it looked. So
also a relief.
Yes.
Much
so at least we were going in the right direction. Also, I loved that the specific tailor that I went to, in her store, when I first walked in, there was a framed photo of her and Keke Palmer.
Ooh.
And I was like, I trust this lady.
Good sign.
Trust this lady
That's
already.
a good sign. If Keke trusts her.
Yeah. I think she worked on one of her Met Gala looks.
Okay, yeah.
And
Met Gala look.
Lock it in.
Done.
Keke P.
Yes.
Is in the circle of trust, then I'm good.
Done. That's a great sign. That is
I know.
An awesome
it was the first thing I saw when I walked in. I was like,
cut it away.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is good to be back. We had quite the experience in the Fiji airport coming home.
We almost I know we'll talk about other things too, but it's been crazy because Love Island has just occupied our brains so much that it's like we are islanded out.
Right. And I am I'm feeling a bit homesick. Like, I want to do a Chicks in the Office live show with our listeners. You know? I just want to give our listeners a hug.
People that get us.
Like, if you see me this weekend, like, give me a hug.
Yeah.
Because we've, like, it's so cool that we've reached a whole other audience. But there's a lot of people that...
Some of them didn't like us.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have never heard our show before.
Yeah.
And for the ones that maybe we gain new listeners and maybe you're listening now, thank you so much for jumping aboard. But there's also some that maybe weren't a fan of us, and that is okay too.
Yeah.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, so that's all right. But I do want to give our listeners just a big hug for supporting us and sticking with us for all these years, because we really do love and appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And it just felt we were doing something totally new.
Yeah.
And something we've never done before with a totally different show. So it just felt like, whoa, like this is crazy. And now we're back home.
Right. And I think we're very used to and comfortable in our bubble. We love our bubble.
Yes.
We love our people.
Yes.
And we were outside of our bubble a little bit, and we got knocked around.
We did.
We got jostled.
We did.
Our bubble was shaken.
Yeah, a little bit. Not
completely
popped.
Not completely popped.
But they rattled it.
They rattled it.
They rattled it quite a lot.
They rattled it.
I think if you, our listeners will understand our humor and get us as people. But if you are somebody who has never seen us or heard of us before, and you're watching our interviews for the first time or watching us on After Sun for the first time, you may not get like that we're kidding, or because you haven't heard us talk about the season prior, then you don't know our stances, and you take one little thing and think that
you haven't heard the way we've been talking about the season. All season.
So you think you hear one thing and you think that's how we feel, but we've been talking about it the entire season. So it's like, you know, you kind of just have to like just go head first and be like, you know what? Our listeners know us. They know what we've been talking about this whole season. And we welcome all new listeners as well who maybe enjoyed some of our interviews, some of our videos that we've made as well. We did have a time at the Fiji airport. Yeah. Quite a time. Yeah. So we were at the Fiji airport and we had already met Leah, but we did not meet Aaron and Kaylor.
Yep.
And we met them at the airport, and it was so sweet. They were having a great time. They posted on their stories that they were drinking, so I think we could mention that they were drinking.
We also, backstory, we were in the lounge, and that was in a different area, and Noah and Sarah were editing out in the main terminal of the airport.
It's a small,
very small airport, and they were texting us updates. They were like, they've arrived. Because we were told. We were like, there might be some Islanders on your flight, you know. Yeah. So they were giving us updates. Like, they just got here. Oh, now Marco and Hannah are here. Oh, they're doing shots. Yeah. Like, and we were in the lounge. We were like, oh, fuck. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
The party's upstairs. Mm-hmm. So we left. And as we walk out, we look into the corner where Noah and Sarah are sitting. And did Aaron have your phone?
No. Aaron had his own phone filming me.
Yeah.
So what happened was...
It was like, all of a sudden, I just saw Aaron with like his flash on filming, and he's behind Noah, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I thought he had your phone.
No, that was his phone. So I don't know if it's because they just got their phones back, and like he was just like filming everything, but he was at the bar ordering more drinks. And he had actually just started talking to, like, there were a few guys at the bar who were, like, Love Island editors. Mm-hmm. So it seemed like everyone in the airport had something to do with Love Island. But so I kind of just, like, glanced back. And he looked at me and then did, like, a double take and, like, looked back at my laptop because I was editing clips from the Cordell interview. And he's like, what is that? What are you doing? And then he, like, came over to my laptop. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, you know, like, part of a podcast. We were out here covering the show. And he was like yelled at the top of his lungs across the airport, Leah, Kaylor, come over here. Like they start running over and he's like filming me and being like, look at this, he's editing. He's like, and they all came over and then I saw you guys. And I'm like, oh, they're the hosts. And then he like ran over and then you guys like joined their group.
Yeah.
We were like, I thought that he had your phone and was filming us.
I had no idea.
Very confused.
To be honest, I had no clue what was happening. I was just, go with the flow.
And then it was like, Leah hugged us because she had remembered meeting us the day before, which, well, we've talked about this when you think people aren't going to remember you, and it's like you just met them the day before.
I was like, we literally were with her yesterday.
Yeah. And she is literally so sweet.
Oh my God, obsessed with her.
I am obsessed with her, like even more so after meeting her. Like she is so sweet. And
Leah, Instagram follower check. I've been checking every day.
Oh yeah, her follower count is insane.
Also, it was very interesting.
1.8.
It's crazy. It was interesting to see because I feel like in real time I was watching like people realize that they were famous.
That's because we were.
People were like starting to come up to them, and I think I could just see on their faces like, oh wow, like,
right. It was
the first time.
It was the first time they were in public and also getting their phones back.
They had their phones back. They were like, holy
that
shit,
was insane. Like. Because we had met Leah the day before when she did not have her phone yet. And then we were with her when she did get her phone back. And she was like, wait, they're calling me the People's Princess? And we were like, yes, that's you. Like her realizing in that moment was insane. And then Kaylor and Aaron, I couldn't sit there and not tell Aaron how I felt about him. Like, I just can't do that. Like, I was talking so much shit about you. I was talking so much shit about you. Like, what were you doing in there? Like, and he was like, I'm the villain. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
just
yeah.
very loud.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just interesting to see
Yeah.
their dynamic.
I know. I mean, look, they're very much a couple. So
Yeah, they are.
That's
Kayler
he
did go on
seems to
Viall
really care
Files.
about her, and at least from what we saw in the 3 seconds in the airport. So.
Exactly. Yeah, and Kayler went on Viall Files and I think talked about, like, if no matter what happens, like, it's a lesson for her in some capacity.
Totally. I don't think she's really been able to go back and watch.
Yeah.
And she's just getting back to the States too and everything. So, but it was really it was fun. Took some tequila shots.
Yeah, they were very nice.
With the group.
They were very nice.
Everybody was awesome. I love Marco and Hannah. Marco is hysterical. We were cracking up. Our Italian brother, he's just basically that was another season where we were like, oh my god, this is just like our brother. Like we were just like, he was like, you two are Italian, right? He was like, we were like, yeah.
The way that Marco posted a picture of us 3 on the plane with Italian flags, I said, it looks like we're going to Italy with Marco. Yes. Like him posting the 3 of us in our seats, like with just Italian flags. I was crying. No, everyone was really lovely and fun. Sweet and so much fun. And we took some shots with them. Yep. Even though I do not typically do tequila shots. They were okay. Actually, it went down too. It went really smooth. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, okay.
But let me tell you something. That was like, I don't know what that plan is, because it's tough and I get it. It's like, oh my god, they're out finally. They want to, they want to take some shots. They can't really drink in the villa. That it's like wine and all that. So I 100% get it. But tequila shots before like a 10 p.m. flight that you're supposed to sleep on can be kind of tough. Like I got to my seat and I was like, oh my god, am I supposed to just like go to bed now? I'm having so much fun.
Right.
Like,
we were all still talking. Yeah. We were like, wait, now we're being annoying because people want to sleep.
Exactly. Now I'm like, but I just want to talk and hang out with everybody.
Yeah. Like, can we just like make this plane a party?
Yeah.
I'm sure that would have been oh my god. I'm sure the Fiji Airways people would have been like, let's fucking do it.
I know.
If everyone was on board.
But it really is such a crazy phenomenon, like that they have no fucking clue. They have no clue. Then they get their phones back and it's just like, rip the Band-Aid. Welcome to your new normal.
I do feel bad for them in that aspect where it's like, it must be
I'd be terrified to post anything. I'd be like, what the fuck should I say?
Yeah, it must be a shit ton of anxiety to just like come back. There was also, the drama of Aaron posting that video of Kayler and somebody in the background talking to Kayler, talking about Leah. And that happened, I think, like right before they were all at the airport together. Yep. But they all seemed like they were, and Kayler talked about in Viall Files. She was like, Leah said she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and my guess, too, it's like they just spent all this time together in close quarters. They've had their arguments. They've had their bickering moments where I feel like you do kind of treat each other like family in that sense, where you move on pretty quick. So hopefully that's that case, but they are like so insanely famous now, and it's just a level that they are gonna have to deal with, and everybody's experiencing it in different ways.
For sure. I mean, it's just insane.
Even
but
just like the stuff with Kendall has been like,
it's just
honestly,
I feel so.
I
don't even.
I know. I don't even
so
want to. I don't
bad.
even really want to talk about it. I just want to say that whoever leaked that, like, I hope they.
It's so
I hope
up.
there are criminal charges against them.
No,
because it's so fucked up.
It is literally the most fucked up thing you can do, and I feel so fucking bad for him. Yeah. Like the fact that he leaves the villa, gets his phone back, and that is the first thing he's coming back to. Like he trusted whoever he sent that to, and they, betray him like this in the most disgusting way. Like it is truly horrific, and I feel so bad for him, and I really, really, really hope there are things in place to help him, because
agreed,
I can't even imagine. Like I just can't. I feel so awful for him. So I'm really wishing the best for him and Nicole, because I can't even imagine him being in that position. I feel so bad for him.
I really hope the show provides resources for them, and honestly for all of them, because it's just like it's a level that I don't think any of them anticipated or knew what was going to happen when they came off this show.
You can't even prepare yourself for something like that. Yeah. But I feel so fucking bad for Kendall. Like seriously, just awful people out there that would fucking do something like this.
Yeah.
And I can't even wrap my head around it, but
Yep.
I really hope he's okay. And he has said that, you know, it sucks, but it seems like he has an okay attitude about
Yeah.
it publicly, but you never know what someone's going through
Totally.
privately. And so I really, really wish him the best, because I can't even imagine. But
Agreed.
it's so sweet meeting them all. They were all
Yeah.
really, really
And
sweet.
they're doing a reunion.
They are doing a reunion, and they were just so nice and excited, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for everybody and all their
Seriously.
success. I'm
I
really
agree.
rooting for all of them. I love seeing all of the other interviews that Janae and Kenny and Serena and Cordell are doing, because they're all so fucking funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't wait to keep following them all. Like, I'm just obsessed with them all. Like,
know.
it's
I love the way Miguel has been talking about Leah too in his
Oh my gosh.
post show interviews.
His interviews are so
really
good,
good.
because I feel like
He's like expressed himself really well.
really well. And
Yeah.
I feel like they cut out so many scenes between Miguel and
Yeah.
Leah. And Leah commented on a post about that, being like, so many. Because someone were like, I want to know how much was cut. And it was
Yeah.
like clearly a lot, because I think the way that Miguel has been talking about Leah, the way they've been posting about each other, like, is so cute and
Yeah.
so sweet. Like, it seems like they have a really, really sweet relationship.
Totally. He seems so supportive, like just solidifying that all, you know, she deserves all the fame that she's getting right
Yeah.
now, and the love that she's getting, and he's so happy for her. And, you know, she was nervous in the villa about how she was going to come across and the reaction, and he's like, I'm so glad that it's, you know, gone this way. And even just like the Rob stuff he's handled, he's like, look, like, you know, she's with me.
Yeah, and
So,
as he should
you know?
be. And
Yeah,
Rob went on
yeah.
Call Her Daddy,
Yeah.
which was like over an hour long interview, the most
Yeah.
we've ever seen Rob talk.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty much what was to be expected. He has his phone back now, so like
Yeah.
he knows the reaction to him and Leah. He knows what people
Yeah.
feel. He knows how people feel about him. So I feel like what he said was kind of expected.
Totally.
I
think he recognizes that he kind of like fucked that all up. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like where it is now is for the
Definitely
best.
for the best.
Yeah.
I think the part about Aaron telling him to bring Daniela back was really interesting, and then being like, he walked her back 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
When Rob said that, when he was like, actually he did, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this man it's the best when they have no media training. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, none
just
of
say
them.
it all. Just
Yeah.
say it all. Like, it's amazing. The reunion is going to be
Yep.
insane. We are going to get into the rest of the episode. We do have our music segment, but a big disclaimer, huge disclaimer about Friday's episode. We can't put out Friday's episode until Saturday.
Yep.
You will see why on Saturday, and we will explain why in that episode. But it will be clear.
Yeah.
We are not allowed to put out this episode until Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So you'll see why.
Yep.
And we'll explain why on the next episode. And that's really it. All right, let's get into.
We also had a nice boat day.
Oh, we did.
We did. It was lovely.
We had a lovely
Stunning.
time
The
on the
clearest
boat.
fucking water I've ever seen.
Clearest
in my life.
water.
Holy shit.
And
I almost cried on the boat. I was like, this is unbelievable.
it was a surreal moment. And we got to see where they filmed Survivor.
I know. The captain was like, and over there, American Survivor. You were like, what?
I literally jumped up. Like,
Yeah.
I was about to do flips into the ocean like Nella.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. So fucking cool, because then on the way home I was watching Survivor on the plane, and I was just like, oh my god, we were right there. Oh my god, we were right there.
Yeah.
This is so fucking cool. Oh god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
What a trip. What an experience.
What a trip.
And now let's move into the rest of the episode. We are going to do our Cito playlist music
Yeah.
segment, add some 10 more songs each onto there.
This is gonna be a wild card edition
Oh.
from all of us, I think.
Wild card.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you guys got no idea what's
Yeah,
coming your
good,
way.
good.
All right, we also have some topics. Timothée Chalamet's Bob Dylan trailer has been released. Hailey Bieber W Magazine spread and interview article, big Hollywood Reporter article about Euphoria and the things behind the scenes that have gone into this next season. And Gigi Hadid is allegedly mad at Suki Waterhouse and her comments about the ending of her and Bradley Cooper's relationship. So let's get into it.
With summer heating up, Macy's is here for all your big and small summer moments, all of your summer's greatest hits. From your next barbecue to a sandy beach day, and even that weekend away to visit your grandparents, we're here for it all. Picture those unforgettable, spontaneous summer moments, from impromptu pool parties to last-minute barbecues. Macy's is here to help you embrace every one of them. Macy's has everything you need to have these amazing summer experiences. I just stocked up on some stuff for a pool day, a beach day. It can go both ways. You got a nice new tote bag, a towel, bathing suit, cover up, book, sunscreen, everything. Could put it all together in the bag that leads you to the perfect summer day. Macy's can make it even better because it's just the one place that you can go to when you need all of those things. Maybe a new pair of flip-flops, whatever it is. Macy's has you covered. So shop at Macys.com/summerhits or in store. So that's Macys.com That's Macys.com/summerhits, or head to your local Macy's, shop in store, and get ready to experience all those great summer moments.
Let's talk about some music.
Woohoo!
It's Cito playlist time, and we're going to go around and add 10 more songs to our Cito playlist. This is going to be an extreme wild card
this is a random addition. Some random additions.
Very random. Let's get into it. You start off first.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I would like to note that I have still been listening to nonstop, like, Chappell Roan. I feel like I just have had her album on the whole time we're in Fiji, like getting. I think I listened to Red Wine Supernova like 50 times. Like I just have it on repeat. But already added that on here, so gotta start with a new fresh 10.
Some new ones.
My guy Joe Jonas put out a new single. Got to throw that on there. It's called "Work It Out."
Do you actually like it, or are you just throwing it on?
No,
there?
I do.
Okay.
This is where I've always felt, and a lot of times I feel this way with Jonas Brothers songs too. Is takes me a few listens. And then after a few, I'm like, okay, now this is really fucking stuck in my head, and it is very catchy. It is very catchy, and we've heard some of it on TikTok already. It's like, come on, Joe, you got so much more to be grateful for. Baddies get saddies. That whole situation when was everyone was talking about on TikTok. And then I have "Heaven" by Niall Horan. Just was listening to some Niall on the plane. Really no explanation besides that. Love this song. Really just a good song.
As long as you love it.
Yep. This is a song that was sent to me by my friends. I am not the biggest country music person, but I will dabble from time to time certain songs. And Megan Maroney has a song called "The Girls," and it's just a song for the girls. It'll make you tear up thinking about your girlfriends. It's just one of those, And the lyrics are great. It's awesome. It's a great song. A new one, "Up All Night," which is James Bay, the Lumineers, and Noah Kahan. Just a great group of people. Song's catchy too.
These don't feel that random to me.
We're getting to the random
Okay.
ones. These were all like newish.
Mine are really fucking
Niall
random.
is an old song. Okay, "The Story," Brandi Carlile. Just a fantastic song. On the plane home, I watched God, I can't even remember the name of it now. It's the Zac Efron movie and Taylor Schilling, and he's the Marine, and he comes back. He's got the picture. It's like the whole thing. The
Longest Yard?
No, the last time.
Zac Efron wasn't in The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard. Why did I just
No,
say
it's like
Yard?
it's called The Longest Yard. You're thinking of The Longest Ride, and that is not Zac Efron. This is The Lucky One is what this is called. I watched The Lucky One on the plane, and the end credits scene.
Lucky One.
Yeah, the end credits scene is "The Story," Brandi Carlile, and every time it plays, I'm like, God, this is just such a great song. Okay. Then I have "I'm a Bee," Black Eyed Peas. We listened to it on the boat.
That's my all-time favorite fucking Black Eyed Peas song.
It gets the crowd going.
It is by far my number one Black Eyed Peas song.
It gets the crowd going always. And then there was like, that fun, happy boat vibe where it's like, what songs do you want to listen to? We had some old Harry Styles going as well, so I have Golden Harry Styles on here.
Love that.
Just a playlist staple.
Of course.
I feel like it belongs on there.
Weirdly enough, I almost put that on mine.
Oh,
and
that
I
would have been
did
That
not.
would have been.
It would have been funny.
Yeah. My sister posted about Griff on her story. I don't really know too much about Griff, but I am intrigued, and I listened to the song, and I really liked it. It's called Anything by Griff. She may have a whole album out. I'm not sure about that.
But you like the song.
I like this one. And then I've also been still in like a serious Gracie Abrams kick. Probably by the time we're done with this playlist, I may have this entire album on this playlist added on in different parts. I Love You, I'm Sorry. I also think what comes into play is all the Rob and Leah edits that have been made to this song specifically. I Love You, I'm Sorry it's all over nonstop. It's like, yeah, can't seem to quit these TikToks. Yeah. Great song. And then I've just had this one stuck in my head, and weirdly enough, I haven't even really been listening to it that much. But I woke up, sometimes when you just wake up and a song is playing in your head, and you're just like, how did this even happen?
Yes.
Logical, Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know. I just woke up and in my head it was like 2 + 2 =
It's just in your head.
It's just in
maybe it's telling you to listen to it.
It was just in my mind. So that's the last one. Logical, Olivia Rodrigo. And that's my 10 to add to the playlist this week.
That's a solid 10.
Yeah.
That is a solid 10. Mine is a bit more random than that, and I'm nervous to read them
honestly
off.
I like it. I want to be confused.
It is a confusing list. I'll start off with the new song, Eat the Bass, John Summit. John Summit put out a new album, Comfort and Chaos.
He put out a whole new album?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even realize
2
that.
Fridays ago.
Oh, good for him.
So I'm going to put Eat the Bass on there. I'll also put Make Me Feel by John Summit. So I have 2 John Summit songs on there.
Is Make Me Feel the one that everyone talks about?
There's a couple that a lot of people talk about.
How
Make Me
does
Feel
Make
is
Me
definitely...
Feel go?
You don't want me to sing it. It's not going to come out of my mouth correctly.
Okay.
But
I would know it.
You would 100% know it. I played it while we were getting ready.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then I go into Way Too Sexy, Drake and Future.
Okay.
It's just the summer, and I'm feeling sexy. No Flex Zone, Nicki Minaj remix. Specifically the Nicki Minaj remix. Because
No Flex
Zone, yeah, the original is not as good as the one with the Nicki Minaj remix.
Okay. Are these songs that will be played at the Jersey Shore this weekend?
So the reason that the next couple songs are on here is because last night in our Jersey Shore group chat, we made a Jersey Shore playlist.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was like, add whatever song comes to your mind. And so
a lot of these are going to the Jersey Shore playlist.
A lot of these I took from me adding to the Jersey Shore playlist.
So fair.
And that brings me to the next one, Let It Rock, Kevin Rudolph and Lil Wayne.
Great song.
Iconic.
That should also be on any playlist.
Yeah, it's a great song. Next one's also a great song. Memories, David Guetta and Kid Cudi. Also,
that's the Ronnie
from Jersey. It sounds like Ronnie from the Jersey Shore.
Yep.
Honey, 070 Shake.
Yes, you went through a phase where you listened to that nonstop. And I bring it back every summer for the Jersey Shore. Yeah.
It reminds me of the Jersey Shore, so that's why.
Yeah, fair.
I love that song. The Spins, Mac Miller, and Empire of the Sun, which then brings me to Walking on a Dream from Empire of the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one is a song that I don't even necessarily fucking like that much, but is stuck in my head.
Okay.
Because of that damn TikTok dance that I do not understand.
Oh, yep.
I'm doing Apple by Charlie XCX.
Yep.
It's stuck in my head. I don't even know if I really like it, but it's stuck in my head because of this stupid dance. It's one of those things I don't understand this dance, but everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
Well, that's the thing.
Is it a seatbelt?
What?
The dance. Like, that's how I'm watching it. Like, it's like a seatbelt.
Like putting on a seatbelt?
That's what it looks like. I thought that's the whole time I've been like, they're putting a seatbelt
I haven't really thought that there was anything like that deep to it.
No, I haven't figured out the meaning.
I just thought it was dance moves. I mean, if you can even call it that. But it's like, I just think it's one of those ones that was made and it is at a elementary level where people like me can do it, you know?
Let me tell
because
you,
there's a lot of TikTok dances that I see and I'm like, oh my God, I would never even attempt to do that one because of how stupid I would look. And this is one that I was like, oh, I could probably do that. And I think that's why it went so viral, because everybody felt like they could do it. I mean, you get Stephen Colbert doing it.
Let me tell you, I watch every video of everyone doing it.
Yeah, same.
But every time I'm like, I don't get it. And then
honestly,
I keep watching.
I think I'm fucking Abby Lee Miller watching these videos too, because when they do the it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mm-hmm. When they go slow on the arm back down, I'm like, wrong.
Right.
Wrong. I'm like, that was wrong. Wrong.
Agree with you, but also the fact that
I've watched it so many times.
The fact that you just use an Abby Lee Miller reference but have never watched Dance Moms doesn't sit right with me.
But I mean, I've seen her videos.
No, I understand.
And it's the proper reference.
It is it was a perfect reference. Yeah. But the fact that you've never watched an episode of Dance Moms.
I'm not allowed to say her name at all.
No, you can. You can. But the amount of times I've told you to watch Dance Moms and you haven't put on a single episode still doesn't sit quite right with me.
I don't think I'll ever watch it. It's just too much time has passed.
Christy just got a DUI.
Yeah, it's just, in my mind, like, I missed it. It's just over, you know?
It's not, though. It's not.
I think I missed
always
it.
go back and watch.
So long ago. I have an issue with watching like reality type stuff that's really old.
What are you talking about? You went back and binged every fucking season of The Housewives, but went way after the fact.
Yeah, but that was COVID. And I also think that was in order to watch currently. You know, that was in order for me to keep up with what happens on the show now, because the shows are still on. Dance Moms isn't on anymore. It's over.
Okay. Moving on. Noah?
Oh.
Your turn, buddy.
Okay.
Bucko.
I would like to say I was in control of the music on the boat.
You did a great job.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
Nailed it.
It's very easy to put you in charge of music.
Yep.
You have
Thank
great
you.
taste in music, and you cover all bases. There's
I hope
something
people
for
make
everybody.
it far enough in this episode to hear us complimenting you on this part after we talk.
After
Right.
the beginning.
You know?
And let me tell you,
You are very good at DJing.
He's very good at a lot of things. His job, producing music, living life.
No. Everyday
Everyday
life.
tasks.
Yeah.
That's what Tommy
Maybe-
always says about me. Or it's something like,
Yeah, he
you
says
just
you're
don't know how to
bad.
be a human. or
Yeah,
something.
Tommy always says like Noah's just bad at being a human. Great at other things.
Yeah.
But anyways, great music choices because you play something
Thanks.
for everybody.
Yeah, it was
Covered
good.
all bases.
Okay, so Sweet Honey Buckin'. I feel like I've had a Beyonce song in every one of these.
Classic,
but that's
yeah.
a great one, and I feel like that was a good one on the boat.
Yep.
Yeah, that was on my last playlist. Handshake from afar.
That was the lefty.
Yeah, oops.
Put Your Records On, Corinne Bailey
Oh.
Ray. That's a great
one.
classic.
Yeah.
Coming Home, Leon Bridges.
Yep.
It's just like, we were coming home
Yep.
from Fiji.
Did you play that over and over again on the
No,
flight? Yeah.
I do like to, I will say though, and I've been made fun of, like, every time I'm flying into New York City, I will put on New York State of Mind by Billy Joel. Like, skyline, out the window, just getting the
nice.
mood.
Way to romanticize your life.
Yeah.
And like, if I have more time,
The Big
Empire
Apple.
State of Mind, Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra, like,
Yeah,
try to
and
get
you
into
can
New
play
York.
it all, yeah.
Get through the list.
Yeah. And specifically there's a version with Tony Bennett, Billy Joel live version, great. But that's not on my list.
Okay.
Changes by David Bowie, just another classic
Great
song.
Song.
Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Lauryn Hill.
I want to say something about David Bowie. So for a little bit, I was obsessed with Magic Dance by David Bowie. Maybe I'll add it to one of the playlists coming up in the future. So much so that when I used to smoke, I would play Magic Dance and act like I was being judged in a competition
For
to dance to Magic Dance. It's a very weird memory that just hit me, and I felt the need to share that. And now I'm like creeped out of myself thinking, like, you ever like have a memory hit of you doing something really weird and like send shivers down your spine?
Yep. You just got a Raven level
That's happening to me right now.
Video
Picturing
playing
me
in your head.
dancing to Magic Dance, but on repeat. I remember
Yeah.
one day I was just playing it on repeat. This was during COVID. And I just was like acting like, I don't know. Moving on. Moving on. This is why I don't smoke anymore.
She stood up and said, "Judges, this one
It was for you.
is Magic Dance."
Yeah.
It's a little number I like to call Magic Dance.
Yeah, that's why, this is what I mean. Head was in a cloud. All right, moving on.
Late Night Talking, Harry
Yep.
Styles.
Mhm.
That was on the boat as well.
Yep.
It's a great one. I feel like I stopped. I haven't played Harry Styles in a while.
Same.
But then
I thought
those
that too
albums come
when
on
he
and-
played it.
yeah.
We were all like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
this hits right now."
Yeah. Band on the Run, Paul McCartney
Great
and the
song.
Wings. Another good one.
Yeah.
The Count by a Wiz Khalifa. It's like a Wiz Khalifa song,
Mhm.
but just like a nice, relaxing rap song. Drive Me Crazy by Lil Yachty. That's another one that just... I don't really know much Lil
I
Yachty,
don't know that one.
but
Did
I
you
played it
see
on the boat. But
the song Drake and Lil Yachty are putting out a song, and I think Kai Cenat.
oh, Kai Cenat, the one that he
Yeah.
previewed. Yeah, sounded good. And then Moving Out, Billy Joel.
Great song.
Yeah.
All the hits.
Yep. So that's my list.
That's a good list.
Thanks.
That might have been my favorite
was a
list
good
of
list.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
I
list of
also
yours
like
yet.
feel like I didn't listen to that much music. Like usually I'm listening to music like on my walk to work,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
working out,
Same.
and like I just didn't have that last week. So all my and like on the plane I tried to sleep and I watched.
Yeah,
some
I wasn't
TV.
listening to that much music either. It was a little when I was getting ready, and that was like a lot of Chaperone. Also, and the my headphones died the one day I went to the gym, and I just kept my headphones on. Do you ever do that? Like I was like, I can't.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Well, Ariana was in the gym, and I was like, I cannot have Ariana thinking I'm raw dogging the gym right now.
Yeah.
And like, so I went and I was on the treadmill, and I was like, these are completely dead, but I'm leaving them on my head.
I've raw dogged the gym before when you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
my AirPods are dead.
Yeah, they were
Like,
dead.
Then you just gotta raw dog it. It's
Yeah.
like it sucks, but
I was like, I'm just gonna fake it.
it's not the same kind of workout when you have no music.
No, it's really not.
even close.
It's
It's
not.
like, ugh, just fucking get me through this right now.
I will say the music they were playing inside the gym was pretty decent,
Okay.
which was good.
Well, that's good that there was still music playing.
Yeah,
in
there
the
was
gym.
music still playing, thank God. But I was like, there's no way I have to keep these headphones
Yeah,
on.
understandable. Very understandable. All right, well, great list by everybody.
Yeah. Well done, team.
Well done. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of mine per se. It's just
Yeah.
that it fits the vibe of my weekend.
Exactly.
So
We're going into a new week, and the vibe could change.
it could change at any point. All right, let's get into the topics. Why don't we?
Let's do it. Just like athletes dedicate years to perfecting their game, Ralph Lauren has been creating timeless styles for over 57 years. We all know, we recognize it immediately. Serving as the official outfitter for our national team, you could snag the same gear as your favorite athletes at Macy's and truly embody the spirit of a champion. We're getting into that time, the summer games. If you want to support the national team, make sure you got the gear ready to go. If you're out watching, maybe you're doing some watch parties, maybe you're watching at home, whatever it is, you can rock the same gear. Cheer on your favorite teams this year during the summer games in Paris with top brands like Puma, Reebok, Under Armour, Adidas, Nike. Shop at Macy's.com or in store. It's that easy, Macy's.com or in store. And hop on board, guys. It's going to be so exciting when we're watching this all happen. We see those athletes in their Ralph Lauren gear. They look amazing, and we can all match. It's that exciting. That's how you can show your support. You can shop at Macy's.com or in store.
The trailer for Timothée Chalamet's movie about Bob Dylan has been released, and we got some Timothée Chalamet singing. He's singing.
He's singing like a bird, like a canary.
Singing like Bob Dylan up there.
He is. He sounds great. I mean,
Sounds like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he does. Anytime I see a music biopic of something of this nature, right? And I'm like, my first Google search is, I watch a trailer, immediate Google search is Timothée Chalamet singing in the new Bob Dylan movie. And he is. And it does sound like him. Like, it does sound like him, but it also sounds like Bob Dylan. And, I'm sure maybe there's some technology to help with that. I'm sure he spent a lot of time with like a dialect coach, like a same as if you're playing somebody with a crazy accent. You play with somebody to get that certain. I mean, look at Austin Butler.
Yes. What if Timothée Chalamet stuck as Bob Dylan?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Right,
Well,
he
you know
could
what?
be.
If Timothée Chalamet's not stuck as Bob Dylan, everyone's gonna be like, "But Austin Butler was
Yeah.
stuck as Elvis for so long."
Who is more dedicated to their craft?
It seems like maybe Austin Butler. No, this
It looks good though.
It's super cool. It was filmed in like Hoboken and Jersey City,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I know.
It
I
looks
love
like
all the shots outside Hotel Chelsea.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It looks like a good movie, and yeah, I think they definitely had to play around with his voice because, like, yes, people can imitate other people's voices, but what?
I'm so sorry. I just you know when just like your dream that you had just smacks you in the face.
Yes.
And you're just like, what the fuck
Yes.
was that?
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that we were, I don't even know where we were, but it was like some like historic city. It was the two of us together. And
Just exploring the historical
I don't know
sites,
where it was.
Like
it was
us-
just like
like
it was
we
like
do?
It was like dark alleyways.
Okay.
And mist. And but then it was like a movie set.
Were we in Ireland?
No, I don't know where we were. And we were like, oh my God, we've come across a movie set. And we looked to the left, and down that path, it was Joe Manganiello and Josh Duhamel.
Doing
And
a movie together?
They were like detectives.
Oh my
And
god,
they were
a
in
buddy,
trench
a buddy
coats.
cop film.
Yeah, they were in
with
trench
Joe
coats.
Manganiello
We
and
were like,
Josh
ooh.
Duhamel.
And then we kept walking. And then there was like a like performers, like street performers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a group of guys, and they were in a line, and they were all doing a dance. And the man in the front was Justin Timberlake. And the man behind Justin Timberlake was Tommy.
Tommy here, Tommy.
Yes.
What?
And we
Oh my god, I'm gonna tell Tommy you were dreaming about him.
And we caught him red-handed. He didn't tell anybody he was in this movie that they were
Mm-hmm.
filming. And we were like, oh, and we were pointing, and we were like, what's going on?
That's
And he got
literally-
so embarrassed, then he ran away.
What? That's literally Tommy's dream.
Yeah.
Tommy's gonna.
I know.
He's gonna be like.
That was my
that's-
dream.
That's crazy. That.
I don't really remember any other parts of it.
I
I don't know why that popped in my head. I guess just talking about the
movies.
movie.
Yeah, it is weird when that. Oh, I just got like felt like I was on the plane again for a second.
Yeah. But it was just like it was like Tommy and then like four other guys behind him, and they all had their arms on each other's shoulders, and it was Justin Timberlake in the front, and they were doing like kind of like
Tommy
a,
and
they were
Josh Duhamel
doing-
and
do-
Joe
they were-
Manganiello. Why the fuck?
They were doing like a kick dance
Why
like
the
down the
fuck
street,
did your brain put Tommy
and they were all
with Joe
dressed
Manganiello?
they were all dressed as clowns. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Josh Duhamel and Joe Manganiello were like in like a dark, broody, maybe it what now that I know the meaning of it, film noir type vibe.
Yes.
And then the other area was like they were all clown street performers.
Weird. It kind of that's a crazy dream, but it makes me wonder what the fuck happened with that Vince Vaughn and Joe Manganiello film.
Yeah, I know. I thought
Where's
the same
Nana?
thing. I thought the same thing.
Where is it?
I'm sure it's coming eventually.
We've heard nothing about it.
No. But yeah, anyway, the
Joe
Bob Dylan movie
Manganiello
looks
and
good.
Okay, so on the plane, there was One Tree Hill was an option on Fiji Airways. So I watched some episodes, and it was the ones with Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
And like I kind of like have like the ick
His character
Joe
on the
Man-
show was not great.
for Joe Manganiello. I like kind of have the ick.
Why? From One Tree Hill?
Just in general.
Mm.
Like he's not what he used to be in my brain. You know, it's gone down a lot.
It's too bad for him.
Yeah, not Josh Duhamel though.
No.
The moment with Josh Duhamel when
I know.
I said sketchel instead of special
Very special guest.
will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that was good.
We're here with a very special
Special
guest. Just kill me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
Anyways,
those two sexy men were filming a movie together in my
Yeah.
dream.
quite the dreams you have, Francesca, about a lot of
I know.
sexy men.
I've been all over the place. I've had like wedding anxiety dreams, and now this. My other dreams have just been that I'm like, I keep thinking that I have time before my wedding, and then my dream is like, no, you idiot, it's actually this day. And I'm like, what? It's July 23rd. And they're like, no, it's not. It's actually this. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any time.
That's terrifying.
And it's not good.
That's terrifying.
It's not good.
You know, that's going to happen, though. I feel like that without, you cannot stop those dreams.
No, 100%. The other one, which I told you about too, was that I brought my dress to the tailor and I opened up the bag and put it on. Different dress. Wrong
Nightmare.
dress.
That's a nightmare.
Completely
That's not a dream.
wrong dress.
That's a nightmare.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I brought home my dress and it was like something magical happened in my apartment closet. The dress just changed.
That is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Not a dream.
Can confirm that it was my dress when I actually brought it to the tailor.
Thank God.
But, you know.
And then snipped apart.
Yep. Yep. But no, and you know who I also love? Elle Fanning. And she's in this as well, this Bob Dylan movie.
You know what? I love Elle Fanning, even
Same.
though she stole a part from me as a child.
And you could hold a grudge against her for that.
I could. But
You're
me
just
say
the bigger person.
I am, and she is 100 million times more talented than I will ever be, that I even hold in my left pinky. So, congrats
I
to
mean,
you,
wear
Elle
it as a
Fanning.
badge of honor that you were even trying out for the same roles, you know?
2 of them.
Right?
Two of them.
Yeah.
So,
Similar vibes, I could see.
not really.
Well, she's...
Just we
no,
were
I
just
could
both
see like
young.
the age.
Yeah, just the age.
Blonde.
Yeah. And
You were much blonder at the time. Ish.
no,
Mixed?
when I was a kid, I wasn't.
Oh no, you weren't. Yeah.
When I was a young lad,
Yep.
my hair was
On the
actually
scene.
brown.
Yeah.
Browner
Right.
than it is now. And
You're a brunette,
at heart.
Rob would say.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like just for a moment, if you guys haven't listened to the Call Her Daddy Rob interview, Alex brought up to Rob that he coupled up with Andrea, but he told Leah he wasn't into blondes.
Yeah.
And Rob goes, well, she's not blonde.
Yeah. She's
And
like, no.
Alex was like,
she's a blonde.
She's blonde. And Rob was like, right now she's blonde, but she's not really blonde. And he was like, you know what I mean, though. Like and I was like,
he's like dark eyes, like dark features, you know? She's
like,
a brunette.
I think what he was trying to say is that maybe he just doesn't like the classic blonde hair, blue eye, like maybe
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
look. But like,
Or I don't know if maybe he just considers anybody that dyes their hair blonde not a true blonde.
not a true blonde, but like,
He was like, but she's not a blonde. It just seems like more of an essence he was feeling, you know?
yeah, I don't know what
She
he
doesn't
was
have the
gonna-
essence of a blonde despite being a blonde.
Yeah.
She's a brunette.
which is just like so like, oh, you just throw all blondes together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you just have a feeling about blondes.
Right,
like
right.
what?
Yeah.
It was bizarre, but yeah.
It did make me laugh.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck
There
are
were
you
a couple
saying?
comments that made me laugh.
I was like,
where
what the fuck are you saying?
No, truly.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, the show wasn't edited. Like
Yeah.
that's who he is.
Right.
So
So really, I think he would look at you and say, she's a brunette.
I think I would be classified as a brunette as well. I have a heat rash. Anyways,
You do.
I do have a heat rash on my forearms and my knees. Yeah,
We're powering through.
powering through.
Next up.
Yeah, let's move on because there
Yeah.
really wasn't much to say besides the
No,
trailer.
we're excited for the movie. It looks dirty and he's singing and he sounds like Bob Dylan. It's impressive.
So Hailey Bieber did a W Magazine spread all about life right now, her pregnancy, everything that's going on. Beautiful, stunning pictures. You know, every time I like hear an interview from Hailey Bieber or read an interview from Hailey Bieber, I'm like, you know what? I really like Hailey.
I feel the
a
same
lot.
way.
Like
I feel the same way.
I feel like she gets a lot of unwarranted hate. I think that has happened before where she has just gotten unnecessary hate. And I think she's just
a cool chick.
I think she just seems cool and she seems lovely. And there were some interesting tidbits in there. She mentioned not being close with her family. She said she's created her own family, which, you know what, is special and can happen. You know what I mean? Like if you have a disconnect with your family, people create their own families.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful too.
I also think she said it in a great way because I did not feel it to be disrespectful. I feel like she honored the childhood that she had and the way she grew up, but at the same time was like, right now I'm comfortable where I am and I'm just not that close with them currently.
Yeah, and
which
I do,
is so fine.
I do wonder if she meant like Alec and them, or does she mean like her dad?
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
like does she mean her mom and dad, or does she mean
like her cousins and
does she
everything.
mean her cousins and her
I think it's
uncles?
everybody.
You know what?
I think it's everybody because if you're super close with your parents and like you're probably not saying that. You know?
Here's the thing.
Like I would never be like, oh,
I'm not. I would never be like I'm not super close to my family,
Yeah,
but I am
yeah.
close to my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't say that.
Exactly.
They are a wild family. So, and I'm sure that there are probably some things that we have not seen, a whole other life that she is living with Justin.
So I thought, she was just being direct with it. I also thought, she was direct and clear with how, once again, she's always asked, so she always has to bring up like the hate and criticism that her and Justin's relationship has gotten, and they've been together for a long time now. I also felt like a lot of people could relate to her being like, I'm really just trying to spend a lot of time with Justin right now too, because it's like their whole, the whole dynamic's gonna change, which is so true, because it's like, oh, you're married, it's you and your husband, like you're dedicated to each other, you built this life together, and now you're bringing another little person into the mix, and that can change the dynamic. And sometimes you want to appreciate what you have in that time, so it feels like they're doing that. And of course, at the same time, of course, she was like, well, I could keep it a secret until I was like 6 months. Like I didn't really have a belly, and like I just could, wear baggy clothes. And it's like, of course you could. She's perfect.
Right. Exactly. Oh, of course you didn't have a belly until 6 months.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of, I don't know if beautiful is the right word, but I'll use beautiful, that she like said that the hate does not get easier. Like, beautiful is not the right word to describe it, but it was nice to hear honesty. Like, she's like, because a lot of people will be like, yeah, I don't care, who cares, like you get over it. And I'm sure that is true for some people, but she was like, honestly, like it doesn't ever get easier, which I'm sure it doesn't, because it's always the same thing over and over again about her relationship, trying to paint them in a bad light, trying to say that they have problems, all this stuff. Meanwhile, they've been together for years now. They're welcoming a baby into their family. Like they've created a beautiful life together. They have a house in Idaho where they're going to spend the time, where she's going to spend the end of her pregnancy. It's a whole thing. So honestly, I always like hearing more from her and her experience, and I feel like she has such a beautiful life that she's created. But on the other side of that, I know people say it's like silly to feel bad for like famous people, whatever, but she's also a human being, and I do feel bad for the outside aspect of it all, of being criticized nonstop for being Justin Bieber's wife. Like it is nonstop, and it must be extremely hard when you're pregnant and about to have a child and people are saying the most fucked up things they could possibly say about a baby that is not born yet. Like, totally. Gosh, people are so sick. So I think she's really cool, and I
photos
enjoyed the
are
interview.
really cool.
And she mentioned the new ring that was given to her. People were like making it seem like it was like a bunch of carats more. She was like, it's only 1 carat more. It's just elongated, like kind of funny. It's still a fucking massive ring.
Yeah, I mean, it's ginormous.
It's huge. But funny she had to clarify that. I love when she posts pictures, she's just wearing the other one on her fucking pinky. Like, she's sick. Like, people don't use this term anymore, trendsetter. She's a trendsetter.
Yeah.
You know what 100%. I mean? Like, she is a trendsetter.
100%.
Just does things that she likes. And I aspire to be that way, and I love it. Like, who cares what's in or what's out? Like, just do you and wear and be whatever you want. So I thought it was beautiful. Beautiful spread. Beautiful interview. Moving on. Euphoria. There was a Hollywood Reporter article about everything that's going on behind the scenes of Euphoria. Obviously talking about, the tragedy, and also behind the scenes of Zendaya and Sam Levinson, and of course the tragedy of losing Angus. Like, so many outside factors that have now contributed to this season of Euphoria. Zendaya was mad and didn't understand why Sam Levinson was allowed to focus on The Idol and not focus on writing season 3 of Euphoria. I bet Sam Levinson, even though he probably wouldn't admit it, would probably be like, I probably just should have spent my time focusing on Euphoria season 3, considering The Idol was a huge miss.
Right. And then all the he did that, and then all the articles came out about like the toxicity of The Idol and everything. It just like was a bad look. But I don't think I fully realized also that his like producing partner also suddenly passed away.
I did not realize that either.
So producer Kevin Turin, he sadly at only 45 years old was driving with his 10-year-old son in the car, and he had a heart attack.
That's insane.
And it was really like, obviously that's so awful. And this was last November, it says, on a sunny day last November. All the, family, friends gathered to remember him in California, like people like Robert Pattinson, Andrew Garfield, Zac Efron. It said Zendaya, the star of the biggest success of Turin's career, Euphoria, missed the funeral but attended the reception. Absent from the gathering altogether was Sam Levinson, the temperamental writer and director behind Euphoria and the ill-fated series The Idol, which was intended to launch the weekend's acting career. Levinson not only had been Turin's very close friend, but also his partner in their Little Lamb production company, until Levinson shocked many who knew both men by cutting ties with him earlier in the year. The reasons were mysterious to all but a handful of close associates. The Turin family had made it clear that Sam and his wife Ashley were not welcome at the funeral. So there's just like a lot of underlying
That's crazy.
drama and issues. And of course, it's like if he had broken that partnership up earlier in the year too, and I think felt a lot of pressure at the same time. So Sam, I mean, we've heard nonstop about Sam too. Levinson's relationship with Turin wasn't the only one that had frayed Zendaya, once a close Levinson acolyte that she frequently hung out at his house, cooled toward the filmmaker. Another insider says that as she pulled away, Levinson began to resent her. And then there was the issue of Levinson's wife, Ashley, who has taken on Turin's duties, but who brings a more aggressive personality to the work. Everybody declined to comment on the story, obviously. It says, meanwhile, Euphoria fans eagerly awaited a third season or even a low-bar announcement that one would be coming. The last episode aired way back in February of 2022. The delay had been such that HBO had allowed the top stars to book other projects while awaiting an acceptable idea for another season. Obviously, we know that has now happened. But apparently through the first two seasons, Zendaya and Levinson were thick as thieves. She found him to be an inspiring director, and she knew she was embodying him in her role as drug addict Rue. Having won 2 Emmys for her performance, she had shadowed Levinson on set during season 2 with an eye toward directing in season 3. And then, of course, The Idol came into play here. They jumped in to produce The Idol, also for HBO. Levinson wrote a spec script for the pilot, but was not supposed to spend too much time on the project because he was still occupied with Euphoria season 2. Other writers and directors would handle the heavy lifting, but with Levinson, things often don't go as planned. So he spent way more time on The Idol. Zendaya's frustration grew. He had not turned in any scripts for Euphoria's third season. And sources say her unhappiness deepened in March of 2023 after Rolling Stone published a blistering article alleging that with Levinson at the helm, production of The Idol had gone, quote, disgustingly, disturbingly off the rails. We had remember talking about that. We did talk about that. And Zendaya had nothing to do with The Idol, but was swept up in fan backlash for a project she hadn't wanted Levinson to take on in the first place. Sources note that she was already a seasoned actress when she appeared in Euphoria 22, and she closely tracks the mood on social media. Her image is pristine, says an executive who has dealt with her, and fans were turning against Sam, urging Zendaya to distance herself. And then, of course, we know things have taken even more of a turn. Relations have curdled. There's been meetings with HBO, with Zendaya, Levinson, the heads of HBO, creatives, on trying to get everybody to reconcile. And Zendaya also told HBO executives that she doesn't want Ashley Levinson to be the only executive producer on season 3. So that's his wife. So there's just obviously a lot of drama. People are like, Sam needs somebody else besides Ashley, who's once again, you're getting into murky waters when you're literally only working with your wife. So it just sounds like the two of them have quite the strained relationship now, and further confirms that I can't believe they're even still doing a season 3, and end the show after this. That's all.
I
There's just
after
too
hearing
much.
all this, it's just like, why, like at this point, just wrap. I know that they need to have a conclusion for a lot of the characters, but
Right. It really just also makes it seem like Zendaya really does not want to do this.
Right. It's just like, just end it now. Like, don't even do the third season. It's already like tainted. It has so much discourse around it in not a positive way that it's like, at this point, why even do this season? But I feel like Sam Levinson is not going to like let it up. Like, he's going to do this season to like prove a point. But it's very clear that nobody wants this to happen. At this point, they're going to do the season and then it needs to end after that. Like, there shouldn't be any continuation. And like, just watching Zendaya from afar and watching her career, I can imagine she wants there to be closure for Rue. Totally understand that, but after this, like, it just needs to end with everything that's gone on.
Sources closer to Sam like blame Zendaya for, she's had so many other projects, blah blah blah. It's not Sam, it's her. Like, so there's just a blame game, right? But sources did say to the Hollywood Reporter that Sydney Sweeney was eager to return. She has turned down some big paydays, but she's looking forward to coming back. She feels very strongly about Sam and his work, and then this is the most typical. Jacob Elordi, the other co-star with the most traction in movies, has been, quote, aloof and ambivalent about returning, says a source, but now he has re-upped. Elordi's reps did not respond to a request for comment.
I feel like describing Jacob Elordi as aloof is the most perfect way to describe that man. Whatever, I'll do it.
Aloof.
As long as it's not the kissing booth.
They've thrown around some insane ideas for this next season. Levinson's first crack at an idea for the new season, in which Zendaya was to be a private detective, was rejected by both HBO and Zendaya. Zendaya's idea that she could play a surrogate mother was also a non-starter. But HBO sources say that there is finally the beginning of a thaw between writer, director, and star, and in an inkling of an idea that will work. Good luck to us, says one person closely involved in the show. Who knows what the hell will happen?
Jesus Christ, this season's going to be a
right?
disaster.
Like, what a disaster.
Why the fuck would Zendaya play a private detective?
I don't know. Both of those ideas kind of seem just out of left field, so.
That riles me up, because in no way should Zendaya be playing a private detective.
Right. Well, HBO shot that one down. So did she.
Yeah, thank God. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Levinson just seems like a fucking disaster.
He does.
But,
he does.
Like, they're going to have to do the season, even though they probably shouldn't at
It's
this
just
point.
crazy, because I feel like we've been talking about the drama around the show for so long, and then it just goes even deeper.
Oh,
this article had so much in it that I was like, wow, I don't think everybody really knows all this stuff.
Right. They were probably just waiting to compile it all together. And they're like, all right, here's everything that's going on.
Yep.
We're still, unfortunately, going to do this season. Good fucking luck to us in the future.
Who knows what the hell will happen?
Who knows? It's going to be...
Yep.
It's going to be very... They should just release all 10 episodes at once and be done with it.
Yeah, totally.
Here's all 10 episodes. Binge it.
Yeah, binge it and we're moving on.
Yeah, that's it. Want to wrap our hands. Can't do fucking 10 weeks in a row of this season. Last topic. As we know, Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper are dating.
Still going strong.
They're still going strong. Strong relationship between the two of them. But Suki Waterhouse made some comments about the ending of her relationship with Bradley Cooper. Suki Waterhouse is currently with Robert Pattinson. Also just had a baby. And
he's got a haircut.
I just left. Had to get a fresh cut for the shore.
Noah just walked out, by the way. That's why
I made the joke. But Gigi Hadid is allegedly not happy with the comments that Suki Waterhouse has made about the ending of the relationship with Bradley Cooper. Suki Waterhouse described the ending of the relationship as dark.
Yeah, it could be a reach for sure, because Page Six wrote this article from a quote that's in Life and Style. So
it's like OK Magazine.
You know,
all
it's
over
like
again.
Exactly. It's one of those situations for sure. But what Suki said is directly from her, and she was on the cover of British Vogue for the August issue. So it's like, okay, that was said, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Gigi was a little uncomfortable about it. But the quote was, they've fallen out and there's no indication that things will ever be the same for them, of her and her former friend. No matter what, I don't even really care if something happened or not, or if it's from the quote or not. Like, you're not going to be super close with a friend that's now dating your ex-boyfriend. Like, it's just like the incestual world of Hollywood too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yes, Suki and Gigi are friends, whatever, but now it's like, especially if Suki remembers her relationship with Bradley, like not in a great way, and now Gigi and Bradley are together, it's like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't really need to hang out with you.
Right. And also, like, I'm sure they weren't that good of friends.
Yeah.
You know? They got plenty of friends.
Yeah. Well, they were in that whole squad, like the whole like model squad, that whole, you know? Gigi is totally Team Bradley and taking this up as her own cause, the insider added. She isn't about to let this go. Oh, I don't really know what that means. That sounds
What
like,
do you mean? I feel like Gigi Hadid isn't going to be like, Suki,
Right.
you're going to pay for this.
Yeah, right? Like, what is that? What the fuck does
I'm
that
never
even
letting
mean?
this go.
Yeah. However, a separate source told the magazine Suki spoke her truth. If Gigi doesn't like it, that's her problem. It's like, yeah, I mean, so this was the quote from British Vogue. She said, Suki said, I really will say that I'm pretty strong at this point. But when something very public happens to you and the story behind it is dark and difficult and you're actually not doing well and you can't explain yourself to the world, that's very isolating and disorienting. It probably has taken a decade to work myself out and actually be able to have this expansion in my life. Waterhouse also said that the relationships she had in her sadistic 20s were only ever a fetishization. Doesn't sound good. No. And Bradley and Suki dated from 2013 to 2015.
And
so
also,
it's been a long time.
Wasn't Suki like really young when she dated Bradley Cooper?
Bradley is 49. She's 32. So
They had a 17-year age difference.
Yeah, I mean, and 10 years, like, they dated in 2013. So, like, she was 23.
Yeah.
No, she was even younger than that. It's 2024.
She was 21 and he was
She was
and he
21.
was 38.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can imagine that wasn't fantastic.
Yeah. Bradley really gets away with that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
More than others.
Mm-hmm. People bring it up.
He's got quite the gaps.
Yeah.
She further said, I think when you only get loved in that way, you only get punished. When you get into your 30s, you're almost instantly afforded a little bit more respect. It's kind of delightful and shocking at the same time.
Well, I'm glad that Suki and Robert Pattinson seem to have a lovely relationship.
They do. They definitely do. And like Suki is afforded every reason to talk about her past relationships, especially if she was 21 dating an older Hollywood movie star.
Right.
You know?
Especially at that time.
Yeah. Like Gigi's 29 now, but it's just like he's a lot older than her.
He definitely is.
So
he's 49 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's still
20 years.
That's, oh my God, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like when you would put it like that. Yeah. So I can imagine Suki having a lot of thoughts about that past relationship.
For sure.
Which is totally her
right. And you've lived it too. So it's also like, I probably wouldn't recommend. Like, probably go ahead, Gigi, but like,
Right. And it's also like, okay, Gigi, maybe you have a great relationship with him, but it wasn't great for me. So I'm going to talk about that.
Exactly.
All right. That wraps up today's topics. All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Just a reminder, our Friday episode will actually be out on Saturday. You will figure out why on Saturday. You'll see why, and we will tell you why.
It'll be clear.
All right. Love you guys so very much. Bye.
Bye.